Wow. Good morning. We are back. This is that day. It finally came. It's finally here. The day that everybody's been waiting for or not waiting for, I guess. Um, so far, it's looking like this might be another red day. Um, so we just want to run through some things real quick. We're not going to be here that long. This will be a short video, just a snapshot, because we won't know what's really going to happen until things really kick into high gear, and that's going to be in about 2 minutes. It's 6:28 Pacific Standard Time. So just going to run through kind of like a little ticker symbol that I have set up. It's got some of the major stuff that people follow on the daily. Probably won't be able to do too many technicals because, of course, a lot of it's already written up, and it's really not going to be a reason for me to come too close on a lot of this stuff. A lot of the structure-based analysis that we're going to talk about is going to be based off of the technicals that have already been done. So, all right, NVIDIA. All right, so pre-market, it's going to flip over in about 1 minute. But right now we're still pre-market. So NVIDIA has fallen $3 in the pre-market. What I will say about it is there's still a lot of positive speculation in tech and microchip chips and AI and computing. That whole sector should still remain to continue to be solid, no matter what. Because you might have to pay. Oh, you guys just heard the bell. So we're out of pre-market and the market is live now, 6:30 a.m. Pacific at least. I guess that's 9:30 on the East Coast. So things should still be solid. So just run through these real quick. It's really about what you can see, what you can identify, and what's in front of you before you start getting into your deep dives and your in-depth stuff. But right off the top, let me see if I can get us out of the no, we're in regular trading session. I'm on a 4-hour chart though, but I'll come in a little closer. Down $3 in we're in post market now. I don't know why this particular chart hasn't flipped over yet. We're not in pre-market anymore. We're in regular trading session. So back on, and I did talk about this, March 11th, you had this filled crab pattern where, of course, that would have been a good trade for a trader, but it would have had to get out as market came down, retested that area, fell. The good thing about the fall, there's nothing good about a fall, but the good thing about it is it fell right back into, so that same area became basically a supply zone, and you saw a reaction out of it, short term at least. But now, of course, the market's given some of that back. We're at least right here, 107.33, because of the madness that's taking place. I'm assuming the madness that's taking place. I was going to try to see if we had another advanced pattern in here, maybe a bat pattern, but it's not valid. We're not valid at what would be the B leg right here. But you still got a reaction and structure. Basically, a double bottom, sort of double bottom, and that's okay to get the reaction that we got off of a double bottom like that, or retesting that structure. But it looks like, I don't know if it's going to be short-lived, long-lived, or what, because we got to come out of where we at. Let me just come a little bit closer to see. Okay, so not so bad in the 107s. Okay, that's more like it. So the pre-market caused some temporary drama. I don't know why that was getting pulled down in the pre-market, but it didn't last, it didn't hold, and it was short-lived. Let's say that it didn't have the type of effect that it looked like it was going to have when I was looking at it in the pre-market. So NVIDIA off to the races, basically using this double bottom, this retest here to go. Pretty good stuff. This takes us back to the 31st. The last couple of days, we're on Wednesday. The last couple of days, so far so good. On a run from 103 up to 107. 103 to 110. Not bad at all. I'm sorry, 103. We are at 107. I don't know why price action is. Oh, it is at 107. Okay, so we were at 110 yesterday. Let me get my stuff together. We're at 110 yesterday, and then it dropped to 107. And the market is falling rather fast, so we'll be able to catch up and get to some of that. Next on the ticker, a lot of people were expecting a lot from TSM. So was I. There was an advanced pattern, shark pattern, filled, started to pay off, filling at around 169, running all the way up to the 180s and giving it all back. And now we are in trouble, possibly because of the uncertainty with the markets. Not good at all. On the day, of course, I can come a little bit closer, see where we are, and I don't know if we're going to be able to recover out of that. 166 right now, after being all the way up to 182, 183. And unfortunately, there's not going to be any structure or anything that can stop TSM from falling. Maybe this year we could hope for something like that, but really not sure. So 166 right now. Can't really make a projection. Anybody that's trying to make a projection off of anything, they're likely going to be inaccurate, especially when you're talking about, there's really nothing to kind of like hang your hat on. There's nothing to stop it. Look left, structure leaves clues. The next, if this does fall, the next stop is at about 156, that would be that might be major enough to hold it, but it still depends on investor sentiment. Okay, so that's TSM. Unless, I don't know, it's maybe some of the stuff is in the air, but I had to just come out a little bit just to find the structure. No reason to be up on those smaller time frames when you're dealing with a climate and condition like this. Just no reason. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, as such viewers will experience Buffett. I don't know why, but anyway. So yeah, that's unfortunate. We'll come in a little bit closer before we jump off. I just need to be able to see a little bit. I don't know, and we're just getting started, so I don't want to have too much doom and gloom. So my stream health is poor, they're saying. Okay. All right. Cool. Hopefully it catches up. I don't know. I can't really tell. Maybe YouTube thinks that it's poor and it's not. So either way. Not going to talk about MVTS. Let's jump over to AMD real fast. AMD, okay, has been on this. Of course, we've talked about this in some other videos. This very, very long trend going way, way back. I think the reason I have it plotted out like I do, it's only saving grace, is when you finally get down to this $95 area, which is amazing if you could buy a company like AMD for $95, but then a retest at that area and then come out rally. So what's happening at the rally is a 2618 where you have your double bottom. This is the only reason I have this plotted out, is because there is a scenario in which technically this could recover. Double bottom, break and close, 618 retracement. Okay. And usually when you do get something like a breakout, higher high, higher close, 618 retracement, then you will get a recovery, a retest of where the price came from, and then some extended levels beyond. It's really the sign. The double bottom break and close is confirming. Once it breaks and closes, it's confirming that the double bottom was actually a true reversal. So, and then you see it slow down. You see bullish divergence on RSI. You see a couple of green candles, and where are they at? Let's see. That's not so bad. I'm not going to really focus on VWAP, why I'm out here on these wider time frames, even though if I were to, two things: current price, the red candle is under VWAP, so it would need to break and close and get above VWAP. But then the lower band, the green band, price action is above it. So you're kind of dealing with this whole entire range here. But really hard to make a projection because the market conditions really, really are going to dictate what's happening and not technical analysis. Intel, and it's crazy. I'm wondering how this video is going to come out. Intel kind of got the same thing. Intel was a very, very amazing, powerful, winning bad pattern. And then when it comes out of that and it's exhausted and the investors pull their positions, it's not like they put in shorts. It's not like they were shorting Intel. Maybe, possibly. But what I do like about it is you have Again, retracement down to the 618 golden ratio. I really want to know what this YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Okay, they're saying that I'll still be on, but there'll be some buffering on here. But I do like the correction down to the 618 golden ratio. NVIDIA does have some things going on fundamentally with their company, changing leadership and things of that sort. So there's some opportunities there for Intel. It's like I said, we have to get through the first couple of days and into next week and see what kind of contracts are going to be offered and settled, and what kind of negotiation is going to take place with some of these companies. It's ironically, we got the same thing for the third thing in a row. When times were good a few weeks ago, early March, a few weeks ago, you had this powerful advanced bullish cipher pattern. I did talk about that. And then him come power about, get an all-time high for QBTS, all right, or D-Wave Quantum. And then the correction came back down to the 618 golden ratio, all right, where of course it's using the 618 as structure. You can see it slow down, stop the free fall, slow down, and find support exactly at the 618. It's just the reversal from that zone back up has not taken place yet. If it's going to take place at all, I don't know. But that's kind of like what could be expected, kind of like long term over the next couple of weeks. Just as you saw, where we were a couple of weeks ago, you could expect, maybe a 2-week run back up if things go in its favor. Apple, of course. I don't know if you guys remember the beautiful video that we had on Apple. This is one of the better things that people aren't getting killed on. And if you want to go back and look at it, there's the video on what we can expect from Apple. And Apple had a bullish Garley pattern. Reacted very well. Looks like there might have been a scare or two in there. There's a couple of times where it started losing steam as it started reaching this area here. And then you see inside of here just a couple of attempts to break out of that area. There's just been just several attempts to get out of that area, meaning breaking in, closing above 224, and it just hasn't happened yet. So kind of like stuck in this box. And then I guess there's going to be a decision's going to have to be made. Fundamentally, technically everything is already good. There's a decision that has to be made fundamentally for Apple to go off and continue to do what it needs to do. I believe that Apple's gonna have a tremendous year and a tremendous future just going over the next 3 to 5 years. Not much to say short term though. You can see though, we're on the 4-hour chart, not too far out. Again, no reason for us to come in too close, but I will just to see if anything sticks out for us. No, it's gonna be the same thing. Got this structure up here, that 224 structure, and a decision has to be made, okay, with this box of consolidation. Short-term traders and scalpers should be very careful because your technicals probably aren't going to work for you, and you don't know what's going to happen in terms of the fundamentals. So scalpers and short-term traders and stuff like that, you do have basically a double top retest here, and if anything, your bias, it's really no bias here to have, but if anything, your bias would be short. But you would really, like I said, a decision needs to be made, period. If end of story, a decision has to be made. Price has to break and close below 216 or above 224. That's pretty much it. It's really nothing else to talk about. It's not going to be any cute patterns formed or anything like that. Hopefully you come up here, go sideways for a minute, and then break out. Continue the run for the bullish Garley pattern. All right. Tesla. It's ironic that we got some of the same stuff happening over and over and over again. Now, Tesla might have something interesting. Let me flip over real quick. Let me get out of the pre-market settings and see what we're looking at. Okay, so Tesla, of course, so many swings. Used a bullish bat pattern, fires all the way up. This was the recovery out of that 217 thing, 217 that we saw, 216, 217, and then all the way up as high as 291. So it's a pretty nice recovery. But ran into a lot of problems up there. Okay, and you can see basically double top retest, break and close. Okay, you guys hear me talk about this all the time. This is a good time for you to see it in action. 2618 action, two meaning double top in this case. Okay, for 2618. This is very important. If you get to this part of the video, you'll learn something very important. 2618 trade. So we actually get a chance to talk about this. It's pretty nice. I do all the time because it's just as frequent as everything else. So let's just do this real quick. So there's a 2618 trade that took place. It would have been an opportunity for a trader to go short, or a trader who trades options to put in a put right here at 275 with, unfortunately, targets way down here. I'm sorry. Put at 274, and he could have put his strikes at 245. A pretty powerful, amazing setup, but he would have had to know how the 2618 trade works in order to do that, or he would not have been able to identify this very powerful opportunity. And what happened, the 2 in 2618 stands for double top. The 618 stands for 618 retracement. So from the right side shoulder to the low. So double top followed by break and close. Okay, break and close beyond previous structure. Okay. Okay, double top followed by break and close beyond previous structure followed by 618 retracement. That's the part of the 618 in the name. And then when you get this type of action, you're usually overbought in this case for a bearish opportunity with bearish divergence. Okay, so all the things that you would need for this actually did take place. To enter right there, hardly any drawdown at all. Price action turns over. Your target is usually back to the previous structure in which it came from. And then, unfortunately, here's some doom and gloom. Unfortunately, you're looking for extended targets beyond that structure, usually in the form of a 127 extension. Okay. And in this case, that'll be TP2. Okay. So TP1 is to retest the structure in which it came from. And target 2 is a 127 extension. Or you can look for an A to B is equal to CD pattern to complete the whole entire move, where the right side shoulder to the low is A and B. And if that's equal to C and D and we clone it, you look like that. That's your target. So here's the targets zone. So look for, for this is, unfortunately, we have to make this projection, projecting at least $230 for Tesla before any type of recovery can be seen. So let me see something real quick. Okay. But yeah, so that's Tesla. So at least, if anything, you know what to expect. Okay. You'll know what to expect. Let me see if there's anything that I need to manage on my side, since we are open and the market is just rocking and rolling and kicking butt and taking names. Okay, let me move on. Amazon. Look at that nasty drop. Okay, it's amazing how there were so many opportunities, with harmonic patterns. There were so many opportunities with harmonic patterns where we had 647, and a lot of them are going to be short-lived or not even live and survive because of the market conditions. So you had here for Amazon filling bullish crab pattern at 184, riding all the way up to 194, pretty good, but then having to give a lot of that back. Still at 190 right now. This would have been amazing, but again, kind of hard to say. We can see where the structure is. Okay, so the good thing that we have going for us, at least when we're trading technically, right, is structure analysis. At least we have that. So at least we'll always know where structure is. I want to come in a little bit closer and see if there's going to be an opportunity for here in the form of, it looks like there might be a cipher pattern forming, but I'm going to have to jump in real quick and verify it. And if it does work, I don't think so. I'm looking at it right now. I can almost tell that I don't have a valid C leg at 127. Oh, we do. The C leg is valid up here. Okay, wow, look at that. And then 786 on the 786 to fill. So Amazon has an opportunity to recover a little bit earlier. That's if this cipher pattern can hold. All right, so one of the few. So it's a 58% B leg, a 137 C, which only needs to be 127, and then your 786 D leg completion. So I guess the question that we will be asking is, oh, my internet is really, really lagging for some reason. Okay, really lagging. It chose the wrong time. I wonder if I'm gonna have to yeah, yeah, my YouTube is really lagging. Let me see if there's some things that I just need to close some stuff out. Give give the computer some more memory, I think. I need to give this some more memory because close some of these windows. A lot of stuff just getting eaten up. Okay, see if I can give this thing some more. Okay, so we're back. Amazon is pushing down. I'm looking to see if something is different at 186. We're at 190, so $4 more, which no investor would be happy about, but that's what's in front of us. And it does put us back into what we know to be good structure down here at the 184 level. All right, who else is on here? Oklo, I'm not going to talk about. P, I'm not going to talk about. Google. I'm going to talk about Google because of the pricing. Okay, well, actually, I can talk about Google because of just to get the people up to speed and let them know what happened. Google got hit with a cipher. Pretty simple and self-explanatory. Didn't really matter what was happening with the market. There was a bearish cipher that failed late March on the 25th. It was going to be dead to rights regardless, and because it happened to be bear. A lot of the bull advanced patterns did not make it because of the market conditions. Bats, Gartleys, ciphers. No, but the bear ones, if I got into the bear series of all these, they really were devastating. And the cipher on Google left no trader a chance in hell for anything at all. You see that. Really nothing to talk about. There's really no reason to come in. I will, just for the sake of it, and see if there's anything in here. So finding support in the 152s, making it up to the 159s. Nah, still, there's really nothing to make out of it. Google, and that's kind of shocking. Let me just do something real quick. Let's just go to VWAP real quick and see where VWAP sits now. Price action under the VWAP, under the actual blue VWAP in the middle. So really nothing for there. I'm sorry, that was Google. I think I said Microsoft. Microsoft is even worse. Microsoft is an even more of a sad story because remember I just said a couple of seconds ago, I said that during what's happening, even the advanced patterns and the most powerful were not working, like Gartley. So losing a Gartley pattern on Microsoft, failed Gartley pattern on Microsoft, pretty astonishing. It fought and held and tried to come up out of there. It just could not. So at this point, it's failed. So I can go ahead and clear it up, and I can just try to get ready for the next drawing. But yeah, and then especially lower low, lower close too, against the previous lows too. So creating a lower low, that's pretty. That was pretty devastating. Let me do something. Let me just try to come a little closer and see what kind of sense we can make of that. Let's go ahead and take VWAP off for right now, just for right now, because I need to see a little bit more. So yeah, it's pretty bad. So there isn't an advanced pattern in there. Like, no, there's no cipher, there's no Gartley, there's nothing. But like I said, that whole violation thing just really screws everything up. Just come in, hit the like button for me. Good morning. Welcome to Liberation Day. To try to track and find out what's going on with these markets. They are rocking and rolling. I wish I could come back around and do one and just look at the foreign currencies. Those are going to really be big when you talk about what we can expect for like USD, USD CAD, dollar versus Canada. That's going to be an interesting one to look at. Or dollar yen, US dollar versus Japanese yen is going to be very interesting to look at. Dollar MXN, dollar against Mexican peso is going to be a very interesting one to look at. But look at Microsoft. Just wow. Nothing really to say. Well, we know where the support is, right? You just got to hold on and see what happens at that point. But again, it's like really hard to say. Palantir, what have you been doing? I don't have any technicals on Palantir. How did that happen? Trey, what are you doing? So I'd have to go and draw one and make one so we can know what's going on. But so far, you got a green week. I can't say that. You got a green week. You got a couple of green days. So let's just start there. At least we have something to go off of. This is today right here. This is the second. So it's got a green for Liberation Day. Let's see if we can get anything come a little bit closer and see if we can really come up with something to work off. So we don't have cipher because C up here at the top would be invalid. Oh yeah, that's a really bad lag. And you guys can't see the screen as I'm talking. We don't have. I should just cut it off and come back. Did the technology really ruin my video? Yeah, I think so. Your comments aren't even coming through. Let me see if there's a way to fix it. Or I'm going to have to cut it and delete it, really? 645 YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain. Viewers will experience buffering. Stream is healthy. Error. YouTube is not. That's crazy. Status poor. That's amazing. All right. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to end that. That's amazing. Let me go back and check. Let me go back to the studio and check. Yeah, it says poor. Let me go back and see if it still says poor. Let me see if it still says poor.